Good morning. Well, it's morning here. Goddess Renix here. I had some downloads. How you see things and how you view things as a chosen one is very chosen one of the light. Joseph was Jesus' dad. The only reason why they say what they say in the Bible is because she got pregnant before she got married. And that's something that they look down on. Having kids with somebody before you get married. So they had to make up a lie and say immaculate conception to hide the fact that she was pregnant before they got married, Mary and Joseph. Pregnant with the chosen one. That's interesting. And I got this download off of a slide that I was reading on Instagram where Demore.life, where she said the black sheep becomes the shepherd. And I thought about Jesus. And I was like, well, he was probably the black sheep of his family. And that's why he had to leave. Just like how chosen ones, if they ain't vibing with their family, they have to leave. Maybe Jesus was so much of an outsider. Yeah. Because if you look at his life, he was alone a lot. And chosen ones who choose to go in the light are alone. But see, who did he merge with? Mary Magdalene. And I always say that they're twins. So you have one in the light and one that you bring out of the dark into the light. Because Mary could have really actually been a prostitute. But Jesus had to deliver her out of that life. Typical of a twin flame. That's why I say the divine, whoever is the most spiritual and the most healed leads the other. If you stay authentic. Like I said, a lot of this stuff is like past life stuff. So it's like, and it's all going on at the same time. Because personally, I don't know what to trust. If I should trust my twin or I should not. Because what he did in a past life, he's doing now. So it's like you get the past life and the present at the same time. You probably live in the future too at the same time. Everything's at the same time. Except for the past, you have to figure it out as you live the present. In the present, you carve the future. I'm still dealing with this death spell. Oh my goodness. Ow, 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 that hurt. Because I look at how I'm living, how my life is, and how I discovered the things about my life, and I could match it up to people's lives in the Bible. Chosen ones, there's really not many of us activated because some are still in the dark. Like I said, in these readings, there's past life energy coming through. I don't think people really actually understand what some of the tarot readers say. That a lot of it is a mixture of the past, present, and future. People don't realize what that means. A lot of the information you're getting is past life stuff that came into this life, and you have to fix it in order to get to the future. Because, like I said, in the present, you're learning about the past. You're remembering what has happened in the past. And we're talking about the previous life. So that maybe we can carve out something different for the future. And not repeat it. Because if you're down that same path of repeating, then you die because you can't go to the new earth. That's why so many people are being led to their purpose because they will be left behind. Because you didn't accomplish what you needed to accomplish in the present life. So you can't go into the future. So then you die. That's how your life ends. And it doesn't have nothing to do with age. Is if you learn what you need to learn in order to step in those, think of Moses couldn't step onto the promised land. He couldn't step foot onto the promised land. So who was in charge? He put somebody else in charge. So he died on that mountain before they entered the promised land, the land flowing with milk and honey, because he could not go. But instead with Moses, he actually did what he was supposed to do. So chosen ones, like I said, there's duality in everything. Chosen ones, there's a light and there's a dark. A light twin and a dark twin. Can we lead our twin out of the darkness? Or do we let him go? That's the big question. Everything is leading to letting go, because you have to I don't know. You have to be careful because these readings get manipulated a lot. And I don't think people realize that these readings are manipulated. Some of them. The ones that talk about divine counterparts are rigged to a certain extent. And I don't think the tarot readers even, some catch up on it and some don't. But a lot of these readings are being manipulated in a way. I got the download about Mary Magdalene because that's the same thing with my relationship, right? My mom was married to another man when she got pregnant with me, and it's frowned upon. It's frowned upon. That's probably why my family don't like me. I don't know. I don't care. I had grew up with a whole bunch of people not liking me anyways, because my light shines so dang bright. This is amazing. So Joseph was the father, but he got Mary pregnant before they were married. And that's why they had to say what they had to say about how Jesus was conceived. And if you think about it, it's frowned upon to, get pregnant and oh my God. My muscle is the muscle that goes across your chest. Building that back is just uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable. this cartoon. Oh my gosh. You can identify with a lot of the main characters in the Bible because they were chosen ones. And you're supposed to learn from those lives. And chosen ones kind of live each and one of those lives. You know, I'm just really uncomfortable. These cartoons. Okay. Okay. These cartoons. Oh my gosh. You know, because in my readings, Othala keeps popping out. And Othala is about tradition, heritage, family, inheritance. So, what's tradition? For a married man and a married woman to have children, right? But if you have it out of wedlock, it's frowned upon. But spiritually, it's needed. That's why I never felt some type of way. My mom always felt some type of way, but I never felt some type of way because I knew that it was needed. Now, both twins don't have to. I think it's, like I said, there's duality in everything. So one chosen one is going to, their parents are never going to marry or have never been married. But the other one's parents probably have been married. It's the opposite. I think that's why they say opposites attract. Hmm. Whoa, we done messed up a whole lot of sayings, huh? We done messed up a whole lot of sayings. Opposites attract because it's really opposites that need to come together. I'm only taking these downloads from the perspective of my life and my experience and matching it with Jesus or Moses or Ruth. Chosen ones in the Bible. Job. And then you can match it. Actually, you can match it with other people too. And I think that's when your ancestors come in. Because your ancestors have been through some stuff too. That's why it's key to be in tune with your ancestors because they teach you things that you might have not thought about They give you a different perspective on a certain issue. Like I struggled, I've been homeless before. I've been without hot water. I've been without lights. So I know that it's like if my ancestors went through taking showers, taking cold showers, you know what I'm saying? I could do it too. I used to have to take cold showers because the hot water got turned off. So I used to have to take cold showers. And thank God it was during the summer, so I could take them a little more comfortable. You have to learn how to change how you view things, how you see things, and your ancestors teach you that. And a lot of people are not in tune with their ancestors because they're so stuck on slavery. Oh, slavery, slavery, slavery. Okay, yeah. And then they want to deny that their ancestors were slaves. So then you're really taking it away. And these traditional cycles are not traditional. They're traditional in a sense of based around a religion, not around really actual tradition. Not really based around tradition as a human species, but around a whole religion. That if you really, really read the Bible, it doesn't say anything about that's why they change certain things in the Bible. But it doesn't have the same restrictions. You go to the source. You always go to the source. Because people, especially like people in a leadership position, will always persuade you the way they want to persuade you. They're not going to persuade you because of what God is saying. We've never really had a true person in a leadership role. So I just, my mom's TV, she's watching that pause that I just did. I was listening to her TV and it was, it's just a game show. And they said how many bones are in the body. And I was saying 278 because I really don't remember. This is something else I should know. How many bones are in the body? The guy said 100, and I guess this is at the end of the show where they, if you get the correct answer, they give you money. Let's make a deal. There you go. Let's make a deal. And he said 105, and it's within 30, and it's actually 206. But I was gonna say 278 because I totally forgot. I knew it was 200 and something, but I was like 105. Did you see the look on my face? I was like 105. It's more than that. Anyways, I just wanted to say that because that's how they force people to stay together. Oh, you have children with this person, so you should stay with this person. But that's not how chosen ones are born. That's not how we're born. We're not born out of marriage. That's why we are the black sheep. Because, that slide said the black sheep becomes the shepherd. So this whole marriage thing, that's why people are waking up to marriage just being something that's not right. That's not real. That's really not real. Didn't want me to say that, huh? I said it. And I'm posting it. We got to break free from tradition because tradition cannot go into the future. Again, living in the present, learning about the past so that you can carve out a different future. Because if you can't carve out a different future, then you can't go into the future. Because you can't go into the new earth. Earth is purging itself. So if you don't carve out the new path, you have to learn what you have done in the past life and change that. In the present, you change that and you carve out a new course into the future. And if you can't do that, then you understand this, how serious it is to leave the past behind. And when I say past as in something that does not serve you no more. It's not going to benefit you. And I'm not talking about material wise. Because you going to need, in this next life, this future, you going to need divine unions. That's why right now we're going through spiritual warfare. We fighting. That's why I said I don't know whether I should trust my twin or not trust them. There are a lot of variations and variables. It's not just one set way or two set ways. You can take one path and split it into 4. Or take one path and split it into 8. It could be one path can lead to 8 different outcomes. But it depends on what path you take. Do you take a healed path or an unhealed path? A lot of people have taken unhealed paths. So then it's going to lead to a dead end. You can't get through that, you can't get through that forest without having a paved a trail or a path. When it stops, it stops. It's the end. You have to heal in order to make it to the future. Because this next coming life, which we deem the future, is going to be different than how it is now. And people need to be equipped. So if you're still living in the past, you haven't carved out your future. So you're still living in the past. You're trying to change something. Like I said, you're trying to put an old cord into a new socket. That does not work. You can't do that. You have to change. And you have to become accountable for the things you say. Change requires so much. Healing requires so much of doing the direct opposite of what you were doing. So if you're not an emotional person, you're going to have to get emotional. If you're a person that lied a lot, you're going to have to start to hold yourself accountable. That's why you have to heal, because you're not going to make it into the future if you don't. Because the future it's changed. It's changing. That's why they say new earth, because it's a different life now. We're going into the future. But in the present. Do you understand what I'm saying? In the present, we then went to the past, and then we had to learn about the past so that we can carve out a different path so we can get to that future. Because that future requires change. Growth. That's why you have a growth in spiritual gifts and psychics and tarot readers. Because we I can't say it. Because y'all gonna need us in the future. I got to go. Maybe I should get some coffee or something. I gotta take this thing off my head because my body is so uncomfortable right now. I'm so uncomfortable right now. I hate it. I need to lay down or something. But anyways, this is Goddess Renee Seer. This is Downloads with Farisha. I don't know. I should probably change that if I'm saying Goddess Renee Seer. And then I kind of separated that identity. I think it's because I've always had downloads. I just never spoke on it. But I need to unbind a little bit. So I will see you later.